off stream, and then also it kind of gave a little bit of a hint that they wanted to run an all AD composition. He's Tarek with that Arma, or it just really hard counters that a little bit, not to mention if he even threw in that Jarvan, that extra stacking with the flag. So just taking that away and going for the composition of this very AD heavy and also CC heavy team.
So level 1 here, we saw in that last game, Frost actually went fairly heavy on the invade. It led to 4 kills at the start of the second matchup. Can we expect anything from level 1 between these two?
I wouldn't be too surprised. I mean, you see Blaze right now going towards this top side. Looks like they want to go for a late invade. And I'm not sure if they'll actually be spotted by Xaxis there, but they are kind of backing away. I mean, they have a good team. If you can lock them down with that Thresh, flip them back, even have Counter-Strike out of Flame, they're not going to move anywhere, and you have the damage behind you to really kill them.
So let's have a look then. Early wards put down across the river. Actually, 1 red on top and bottom. 2 blue wards on the top side of the map there on the river bush corner, and also right on the top side of the river, and also 1 on the bottom side there closing for Anexis. We are going to be seeing Thresh, Volibear and Jax here in this top lane, on the top side of the map I should say, by the golems. Anexis looking like they will have a Wraith start with Overpower.
Pretty interesting looking at the runes of CJ Blaze at this point. We have Flame in the top lane. He's actually running 6% lifesteal and 2% spell vamp. So he's really going for, you know, a heavy sustain lane, maybe potentially looking at doing that 1v2 if they sent that up there. But against Rumble, he's gonna have a really tough time until he gets that level 6. And as well, I believe it was Captain Jack is running 4% lifesteal. So we've seen a lot of the Koreans running a lot of lifesteal quintessences. We've also seen Genja from Gambit doing that as well. It seems to be like the new way to go, just to have the extra sustain lane when you don't have that sustained support.
Well, Buff started off here, Ambition doing his blue. We saw there is Overpower doing his red buff. He's going to be picking that one up. Actually did use this smite, and Ambition going to be taking that blue buff away, which is an interesting start from them.
Yeah, I mean, anything. Well, it's kind of interesting because he was going to go 1v2 in this bottom lane against Urgot and Soraka, and it's going to really give him a tough time. We actually do have Soraka roaming around a little bit, so we might even see her go mid to counter this this 2v1 lane. But he's going to need all the help he can. He's melee obviously against this range out of Arquel, and he needs an extra sustain to what? Well, actually, we do see, sorry, Helis getting caught in the jungle here.
Yeah, getting caught out by Overpower. Will they be able to get, maybe we'll see the flash from both players. Flash from Helios, though. Will he get away, get slowed down by the Harpoon? He's very low on health. Can Flame come in to save this one? He's going to put the Counter-Strike down. Actually, will get the stun onto both of them, but now he's facing a lot of pressure. Will leap straight back onto Volibear, and Blaze get away with it.
I bet you Overpower's kicking himself right now for taking that battle cry. If he had that audacious charge, that would have been guaranteed first blood, give him a nice little extra bit of gold and help him get ahead in the game. As Helis also had that red buff, would have been a nice thing to steal away. But so far, look at the mid lane. It's not exactly what we're expecting to actually happen, but CJ Blaze are actually pushing them back quite hard and really keep him under their own turret, trying to allow Ryze to CS, but he's not one of the best ones to do that when he doesn't have that blue buff.
Yeah, they know where Erotic's position is there. They've just spotted him walking away, so Jax will be thinking about this top lane. As down in the bottom, Ambition and Arquel exchanging a bit of damage here, but that's the danger with Urgot. When he gets locked on, he's going to have a series of 3 attacks that are going to really hurt Ambition.
Yeah, and he has to start with the Doran's Blade. He doesn't have the mana, though, the sustain the lane to actually keep doing that over and over, so he just tries to get him
without
low.
Soraka.
Yeah, exactly. Just tries to get him low as possible, and then he's actually backing right now to pick up a couple of items here. And Joe, looking at this mid lane, it's really throwing me off. I mean, it's exactly kind of what you expect to see when, you know, you have a 1v2 with Ryze, since he's very weak early on. Well, actually, we do see in the meantime, Helis in the top lane, potentially going for a gank on Xaxis. We did see that flashbone earlier in that gank, as well as Flame has his up, and obviously that leap in the mid lane. We do see a little bit of still action. Let's Boy's landing quite a bit of his Q so far.
Xaxis just going to be backing off from that one. Wall down, but Helios is already in that brush. Will the bear come charging out towards Rumble, cause him a bit of a surprise? No. Harpoon goes through. That's like, haha, sucker, got you. And that will be him safe in that top lane. So 4 minutes 40. Can't really compare it to the second game of the last quarterfinals. Ryze starting to put down some damage there. Now, one of the problems that Ryze has is mana, obviously, at these early stages, and having that Soraka there really is going to help him out.
It's helping out quite a bit, but as you can see, he's still very low on mana at this point. He has 16 CS to the 32 of Caitlyn, so he's really hurting at this point. He can't afford to keep spamming spells to kill all those minions under turret. He's going to need that blue buff when it does come up about 7 minutes and 20 seconds in, but we do have Ambition. Looks like they're going for a 3-minute push on this mid turret.
Oh, they're going to get the hook in on towards Celiva. The knock-up not quite landing, but will they have the damage here? Ambition tanking the turret up. There is first blood coming in. The bananas flying off towards him, and that won't be enough damage, and that is first blood to Blaze, and it went over to Caitlyn as well. He may even get a second here. There is a Peacemaker, not making much peace with that one as a Lantern comes flying in. He could have escaped if he wanted to, didn't need it in the end.
And we've seen Blaze do this before. In day one, they did this kind of exact thing where they sent the jungler middle and just forced that aggression, forcing the jungler to come and help, and they even picked up a couple kills in that early turret. But with those 2 first kills and that first blood, they're just going to back away. Caitlyn with both of those under her belt, 1,800 gold to spend. I wouldn't be surprised to see a BF sword come out.
Yeah, really could go for that here. And as you said, you know, Rise only with 18 CS, that might become a real problem for him later on. He's going to come back into the lane with a tier. And
speaking of the problem later on, if CJ Blaze can control his blue buff when it comes up and take it away from him, he's just going to be so far behind at this point that there's nothing he can, well, there's not nothing he can do to get back in the game, but it's going to take him a lot longer than it naturally would for him to finally get that power spike he needs.
Now is Jack's just going to be going back in and out for the CS. He's got a 10 CS lead over Zazas' Rumble, and at this point, Helios going to come down into this bottom lane. Here we go, Aqua forced to flash to avoid the combo.
This is like, I think it was what, early season 2 or mid season 2 where you used to see Urgot's solo lane in the middle before he kind of got balanced with his range decrease on his Q. It's kind of interesting to see that happen yet again, and he's actually not doing amazing against Ambition at this point. They're even in CS right now.
Lost Boy there, taking damage from Rise. Doesn't give any cares, let's say, from that one. Celiva already down to half HP. That's a Piltover Peacemaker coming in there, already causing him so many problems. He's obviously going to get the heals coming in finally from Soraka, but we have Thresh hanging off towards the side. Is he going to be able to land the hook here? The passive from Captain Jack was just used to keep farming those minions, and they're going to have a turret away, and it's the outer middle turret, Jason. That is a big deal. Yeah, that really is. And with how much money Nexus has been investing into wards at this point, if you look across the minimap, they're not going to be able to ward up their own jungle and keep the wards out in that river. So these outer lanes are going to really start to fall behind and really have to play a little bit defensive. And if they do that, CJ Blaze is in the driving seat. They can, you know, 3-4-man push the solo lane and get another turn on top of that and start to snowball that gold income. But Rise now is going to have that farm running through, none to be lost to the turret, so we'll see if he can catch up there. Farm about to hit 30 CS, so not in the worst of positions, but obviously already dying as well doesn't really help out, as Volibear going to be taking that blue buff away for himself. And Joe, I mentioned a little bit earlier about if Anexis can't control their blue buff here, Selvar is just going to be really, or he's going to fall even further behind. We have that, oh, sorry, we just see a gank on this bot lane right now. Yeah, we are going to see that. Alquil actually already going very low from this one, as we're seeing the Qs flying over. Helios is going to get charged into by Overpower. Can they take him down? The bananas coming into silence. Overpower flashed in there for that one. He's going to go underneath the turret. Captain Jack uses the barrier. Is he going to be able to pick up a kill? He will get one there just as he dies. Thresh actually coming in from the side. Ambition is going to track them down. This could go disastrous. The Lantern comes in, but they don't need it. Here is Erotic. He tries to dodge the flag, manages it. The Cataclysm will lock him up. That is a kill there on the top side then. Rise being chased out here by Lustboy. They've got no one to head him off on that opposite side. Can Lustboy finish it? Chasing in there, Ambition in behind him as well. Celiva doesn't have flash, but it won't be too far away. There's the Lantern put over onto Jarvan. Can they get in? There is the hooking onto the minion. He's close in range. He pulls Celiva back, and there is a Dragon Strike to finish off from Ambition. And overall, the entire fight was a 2v4 in favor of Blaze, obviously. And just like the announcers desk was saying before, Anexis seems to be in that kind of mindset where they overstay their welcome at an objective. They got one kill, they could have backed out, but they end up losing 4 because you see Flame being going head-to-head against Zazas in the top lane, and he's able to push him out now because of this. Yeah, got that Vamp Scepter in there, so anything you're losing from this Flame Spitter, pretty much getting straight back on it, as well as Overpower going to visit the middle lane. Lustboy and Ambition, though, not going to fall for that one. Lustboy going to be headed home. Jarvan obviously at 3-0-2 right now. Is starting to get very strong. BF Sword, Vamp Scepter we saw from Captain Jack as he pulled off a kill underneath the turret onto Overpower just before he went down. So No, they are still in a strong position here, Blaze.
Yeah, and what makes it even worse for Anexis at this point is you have Jarvan, who has that Cataclysm. You said he was 3-0-2. He's going to be able to get into the backline and really lock down Ryze, lock down, well, not necessarily Xin, but lock down Rumble, Soraka, maybe even Urgot, depending if he wants his ultimate to get out of that. But because he's going to get so tanky, he's going to have the damage behind him, he's really going to be able to control Anexis and not going to be able to do exactly what they want to do in these fights. And Xaxis might actually get kinked in this top lane.
Yeah, they're going to go in there with the counter-strike. The Bear going to come in. Is he going to get the flip off here? His overpower equalizer goes down. Flame is very low. Can they catch in on towards Flame? Helios is super low as well. They're both going to go down here. That is a kill for Rumble, a kill for Xin Zhao. That is perfect from Anexis.
Yeah, great play by Overpower. We used to know him as an amazing middle player. We saw him in Extreme Masters Singapore, played exceptionally well. We were always surprised at what he pulled out. And he's showing right here, he's just as good in the jungle, counter-ganking Helios right there and picking up those 2 kills for nothing. And even this turret on top of that, getting Anexis a nice little bit of gold to get back in the game.
Yeah, they are still 1,500 behind though, and Captain Jack and Lustboy are still pressuring this bottom turret. Headshot saved up here to maybe given out to Arkwell if he gets too far out. Did get locked on there. Couple of Qs coming into Captain Jack, loses half of his health, but the hook lands in on towards Arkwell. Peacemaker actually pretty much missing there. Lustboy could be in trouble, but Jarvan is in. Cataclysm goes down. Arkwell is going to die. Captain Jack given the kill. Lustboy also got the one just before that onto Soraka. And just as we were talking about how well Anexis have done in the top lane, it all goes pear-shaped in the bottom.
Yeah, I mean, we saw earlier just how many wards Anexis was putting down, but once they lost that mid turret, their ward coverage just failed across the entire map. And because of that, Ambition was able to get in there, was able to help pick up 2 kills and potentially Dragon on top of that. And you can't really afford to do that. I mean, yeah, you're struggling for money, but your team needs to help you out. You can't be the only one as support to keep that ward coverage down, or you're going to lose fights every single time.
There comes the Flying Bear via the Lantern. And that is the pickup. Nicely done, smited away by Helios. Nice and safe. That will extend this gold lead now to 4,000. Obviously, 2 turrets to 1 in favor of Blaze. And what do you do, at this stage of the game here, Jason? I mean, what do Anexis need to make happen?
Oh, they need to look at their late game. Look, I mean, they have such a really strong team composition. They have 4 really tanky members, and then they have that burst healing out of Erotic behind that with Soraka. If they can just drag the game out a little bit, Selavar's going to get so strong that he's going to be really hard to deal with. And Xaxis as well, Overpower, who's already doing a phenomenal job at this point, building really tanky, is going to be really hard to lock down. It's going to be really a huge annoyance to Captain Jack. It's just all up to them to drag the game out a little bit, and they're going to need to do that through wards. They have to protect their own jungle, because they're losing turrets, well, kind of left and right at this point, and the top turret obviously should be the next one to go down. And Nexus can't really afford to really defend it at this point.
Let's have a look at the items that have been picked up. Sunfire Cape coming out for Jarvan. Bloodthirster finished on Caitlyn. Other side, the Ryze finally getting in there with that Catalyst. The T was picked up for him earlier. Brutalizer plus the Chain Vest on Urgot as well here, as we are going to see Lustboy being pressured a little bit. The Equalizer actually coming down. Flash used there. Xaxis actually taking a lot of damage here from Captain Jack, as Ace in the hole does go through. They don't get the kill, and Overpower may now be able to clean up from this one. Jarvan is actually coming in from the backside. They need to take Overpower as low as they can in this encounter. Can he get onto Lustboy? He's going to get slowed, and they get the 1 kill, and the hook as well. Oh my god, now Erotic in the bottom, flung over. 3 kills for Blaze, amazing.
That was so well played by CJ Blaze right there, kiting them as long as possible. The Dacia's charge just wasn't off cooldown in time. And Ambition, I mean, even if they did die in the end, Ambition would have been there to clean it up in the end. And Blaze playing phenomenal right now with just every gank they're pulling off. It's just always been spot on perfect.
And top tower is going to go down as well here. This is going to be turret number 3 for Blaze. All 3 outer turrets gone. And that is the start they were looking for. Helios coming over to defend his mid turret, which Ryze had just pushed through as well. And now 6,000 gold exactly in the lead. And it's not looking good for Anexis. As you said, they started off yesterday really well, going 3 for 0. They ended up actually 3 for 2 at the end. They lost to EG in the last game.
Yeah, they seem to have a hard time against the Korean teams. When they played against Frost, they just didn't seem to know how to beat them, which is kind of confusing because they were playing extremely well, like playing very aggressive early on. The same thing's happening yet again right now. And Nexus, I mean, it's not looking good for them at all. 14 minutes in, having a 6,000 gold deficit. Captain Jack does get caught in the mid lane.
Captain Jack might be in trouble, or maybe not, because the Lantern pulls him straight through. Completely baited into that one. Didn't even see the Lantern there off to the side, I have to say. But Blaze doing another fantastic bit of work as Overpower going to get caught onto here. Jarvan's coming in around the side. The box is down. Jarvan going to go in. Cataclysm is going to be on rise. Helios is going to fall. And this is 2 kills apiece as Captain Jack goes over the wall. Can he get away? He flashes back to his team. But Rumble comes around. Double kill for Zazas. He will fall shortly afterwards. And that will be a 3 for 3.
And there was only 2 kills actually happening for each team in that fight right there. On the bot lane, we saw Raquel Raquel and Flame go head-to-head, where that Soraka ultimate, I don't even think it was meant for him, but it kept him alive long enough for him to get that kill onto Flame. And that's going to give him a nice bit of extra gold just to help get back in this. But Blaze, during that team fight, that was just so well played. And luckily for Nexus, Zazas was in the right position at the right time to pick up that kill onto Captain Jack.
So blue buff being stolen away by Ambition on the top side of the Anexis jungle. I'd say nice little pickup for him to have. It leaves us 14-7 in kills. That 6,000 gold lead still stands for Blaze. Obviously, they're looking through to go through into the second semi-final, which will be tomorrow. Actually, the winner of this game will go on to play SK Telecom.
T1, yep. And that's not going to be an easy match. I mean, they beat, was it Blaze? Yeah, it Blaze day 1, and just, yeah, they did. Okay. Well, anyways, well, they still look really
played
strong
yesterday.
Okay. Oh, yes, they did. Sorry. It was another team. Wow. It's been a long week. I mean, we've had Super Week for LCS. We've had CBIT now. That's Mike C, so I'm going with it. But anyways, looking at IEM just a little bit, you have Helios. I mean, he has an Aegis of the Legion. He's going to help out just overall with any kind of damage that Nexus can put out, which they're starting to hit that point where they're getting very strong. I mean, we saw Rumble last fight, pretty much just 1v1 Captain Jack. We do see actually, wow, Lustboy getting low right there, but Overpower getting kited.
Gonna put the equalizer down as well, and a lot thrown in of these 2 men underneath the turret. They've not taken the turret down to half HP as Helios is going to get jumped on. Can they finish him off? Yes, just about, but the Cataclysm has got Celeber in there. The turret is going to be finishing that off. The rest of the Nexus starting to tank it up as well. They're going in to Overpower. The hook will land, and that will bring Lustboy into range. Here comes Flame from the side. Ace in the hole, not quite finishing off. Erotic there. Zazas going to flash over the wall. Arkwell coming around the side. Ambition gets the knock up. He's going to get the quadra kill, and well, he could have been looking up for a penta there if Arkwell hadn't have just made a beeline and ran away. Well, that is another great turn of events for the Korean. They lost just Volibear in that.
And that is the downside for Nexus having a Jarvan on the other team. You don't really have that mobility to get out of that Cataclysm minus your flashes, and with all those on cooldown from that last major team fight towards the Dragon, you're not going to be able to do anything when you have a, well, now 8-0 and 6 Jarvan on top of you. You have Captain Jack attacking you, where he has 6 kills, he has the Bloodthirster and the Zeal done. Not to mention Jax, if he jumps in there with that Counter-Strike up, you're just going to be taken down one by one.
But how good has Lustboy as well been at this point? We've seen some crazy hooks from him, lanterns that have saved his teammates. He's 3-0-11 as well at this point in the match. So he is just kind of wrecking faces.
Yeah, I mean, I bet you Edward's sitting there watching right now for Gabby Gaming, really proud to see supports just having such a dominant role in the game. We do see Dragon up. Nexus, very smart play for them to actually try to take this away. They knew a couple of ultimates were down from Blaze, and they should be able to secure this to help, keep them in the game in terms of gold. And that's what they have to keep doing, make sure they can farm their own jungle with wards, make sure they can get Dragon when it comes up. They can't afford to go for a fight, so they have to obviously give it away if Blaze goes in, but that's all they have to do is just keep that gold incoming, wait till you get towards that later game where they become really tanky and really powerful.
Flame here just pushing that top lane out as well. If you look down the CS, 150 to 80 CS, if we say that in the top lane. Only actually a 400 gold difference between them, though, because of those kills that Rumble has been picking up. As Helios going to go charging in on towards Celeber, who's just going to say, well, you know what, I'm going to teleport away, but guess what? That's going to be cancelled off by Lustboy. Helios bites down for the kill.
And just as you mentioned, Lustboy doing an extremely good job on Thresh, lands that Q, stops that teleport, and a great pickup on the Celeber. Now they're going to push this bot lane. And Joe, you're talking about CS a little bit. Jax, he is such a large CS lead, obviously not a lot of gold lead, but we know how dangerous Jax is if he is left alone. As we do see Arkel get jumped on with Cataclysm.
Yeah, he is going to go down in this one. He actually tries to switch the positions, gets interrupted. Arkwell going to go, and that is Lustboy picking up another one. 4-0-12 for Thresh. But there can only ever be one Thresh Prince. I'm sorry, Lustboy.
And the thing is, these whole entire fights that have been happening so far has been with Flame farming a lane by himself. I mean, he hasn't actually been involved in these fights that are that much. And that just shows you how far ahead right now Ambition and Captain Jack are, not to mention Lustboy with all those perfect grabs every time to really just lock down everyone on Anexis at this point.
Those perfect grabs to secure the kills. That's what he's done. 4-0-12. Great scoreline for him as Jack's getting a sniff of overpower coming in. Celevo was there as well. Took the right decision to just back away. No need to risk anything there for Flame. If we compare the lanes off here as well, I mean, Jarvan to Rise, okay, maybe not the most fair comparison, yeah. But 122 to 98, 807 for Jarvan at the moment. The AD carries 131 to 113, 626 for Captain Jack as Flame is going to get caught out. The counter-strike is going to go off onto both of them. He leap strikes away. Overpower's going to charge in on towards the minions, but they can't lock him down.
And, I mean, that was them throwing everything they had with those two members to kill him, and yet they didn't have the damage at this point. Like I was saying, they just need to kind of prolong the game a little bit. Selevar's tier is stacked up to 484 at this point, has a Rod of Ages, so he's getting to that point where he's going to start hurting him. But Flame, with just him being allowed to solo farm like this, he's getting the items he needs. And Joe, we both know how dangerous a Jax can be, even in Season 3 patch, when he gets left alone to farm.
Yeah, exactly. That's one thing that you've got to stop against him, as Flame's going in again towards this blue buff. They stole it away on that last time, and as such, knew that spawn timing perfectly. May even try and close in on towards Xaxus here in this top lane. Captain Jack going to reveal himself, and they'll be happy that, you know, we just forced Xaxus away from that one. Flame going to tank up the turret after these minions die, if they even need to. They're taking it down very, very quickly, and that is going to be turret number 6 as Erotic not getting hooked in there. There wasn't really anyone to follow up anyway.
And the thing is, Anexis, they're just giving away all their outer turrets. They cannot afford to fight Blaze at this point. And they know it. They're having to concede all these turrets. They need to, you know, at least ward up outside their base, because, you know, Blaze, they have the opportunity to take Baron at this point. They have Let's Play with that Oracle. He's 4-0-12 still. They have the wards down. And if they go up against a Baron help Blaze, I don't really think that they can even last in their own base when they're under their Nexus turrets.
I think you're right with that one, as well as Overpower going very, very deep there. Going to get the heal out of Soraka. But as you said, there's no towers left out of the base at this point, and the ward's already down by Blaze to make sure that they've got vision in case Anexis start to push away there. But Flame is going straight in towards Baron. They are going to go for it.
And I was looking at, you know, while this is happening, just composition a little bit. And I think Blaze just completely outplayed them in terms of sending their AD carry support mid lane. It forced Erotic to leave Urgot alone, and they did get that lane dominance with him that they were kind of expecting to have by picking up that Soraka-Urgot combo. So they really just, like, screwed them over early game.
Well, I don't know if the later middle late game is going to be any different, as we are seeing Ambition coming around. Going to get the knock up onto Arkwell. There's a Cataclysm. Catches two of them in. Who are they going to focus on first? Arkwell going to switch positions or not, because he does get just interrupted with that one. And Blaze going to push their way down this middle lane. Can they defend this inhibitor turret? There are no minions there for now. Bottom lane, maybe a target as well to start getting pushed out, as Caitlyn does tank up a couple of hits from the tower, but the rest of the team going to be following in with that next wave. Xaxus trying to force them off with that flame spitter, but turret already taken down to less than half health. In fact, they might just have it away. Captain Jack giving no craps about the fact that the tower's hitting him, as Lustboy actually going to go in there. Here we go. They dive in once again on towards Soraka. The box is down as well. They can't really move from this one, and that will be a inhibitor turret. Xaxus is not getting away from it either. Helios just coming in to secure that before he could get out of reach, even with the ace in the hole already in his direction. And that is going to be the first inhibitor. They can just go down onto this turret on the bottom lane here, which is exactly what they're going to do. Captain Jack getting rid of the minions first of all. Rest of Blaze going to be tanking up the turret as the wave comes in. They go in on towards Celevar. Going to catch him up here. There is the ace in the hole. I called it wrong. It wasn't used in that last one. Arkwell going to get stunned up here by Jack. Finished off by Helios. And Overpower just walks away, wondering what happened to the rest of his team there. They're just killing them over and over here as they spawn in towards the base. And Blaze, to be honest, they can just win the game with this one. They've got minions coming in. I can't really see that Anexis have got anything to stop it with, as we do see Xaxus and Overpower, the last two men left alive. Second Nexus turret is going to go down. The Nexus itself will get focused, and Blaze are going to take down Anexis here in game number 1 of the Intel Extreme Masters World Championship quarterfinal.
And Joe, that was a very, very one-sided match for CJ Blaze. Very well played by them in general. And Anexis, they're going to have to go into this next game with a fresh mind and look at this and what went wrong and what they need to do to improve, because we've seen them play before. We know